Okay, this is the P4 paper from October 2021. It's question number 2. It's an integration question, but it's differential equations. What we're going to need to do is to separate the variables out to solve this one. And in this particular question, what we're looking at is to try and get the particular solution. So it means we won't have a constant in our answer. Let's go ahead and make a start to it, and then we'll see where we get to with it. So we're starting off with dy by dx is equal to 4y squared all over the square root of 4x plus 5. So I can see that I'm going to separate the variables out here. What that means is I'm going to get all the y's onto one side. This 4y squared is going to go down, and I'm going to get all the x's, including the dx, onto the other side. So it's relatively straightforward with this one, that my first step will be to have 1 over 4y squared dy is equal to 1 over root of 4x plus 5 dx here. So then we can say integrate, tidy both of them up so I can at least take out the 4 there and have 1 over y squared. I mean, if you want to, by the way, you could take the 4 up to that side and have it outside there. It doesn't matter where this value is here. dy is going to be equal to, just tidying this other bit up, I'd call it 4x plus 5 to the minus half dx. And even with the y squared, I'd now call that the integral of y to the minus 2. dy is equal to the integral of 4x plus 5 to the minus a half dx. Now, because we are doing P4, if you want to now spend some time learning how to integrate that one, go back and look at the integration in P3. I'm going to do a reverse chain rule on this, but I'm not going to spend ages talking about it because we're at P4 now rather than P3. But if you go back onto the channel and look at P3 questions, just type in reverse chain rule and it will give you this type of question that we're going to be doing. So what we need to be able to see here, they could have given us any sort of integral, but both of these are relatively straightforward. Or certainly the left-hand side is rather. If I'm going to integrate y to the minus 2, it's going to be, leave this a quarter out here, add 1 onto the power and divide by the new power will just give me minus y to the minus 1 there is equal to, just really quickly with this one, I can see this is a reverse chain rule. I'm going to take my guess at being y equals 4x plus 5 to the half. That's what I think the integral is. If I check by differentiating that, I would get half 4x plus 5 to the minus a half multiplied by the differential of what's in there, and the differential of what's in there is 4. So in other words, 2 4x plus 5 to the minus a half. The integral of this works out to be equal to that. So if I look at what I'm actually integrating, what we can then do for those is to say, yeah, the integral of that one is going to be, let's put the pen back, is going to be a half 4x plus 5 to the half. Now, when I've got a constant, I should really have plus C1 there and plus C2 there. But if we did those two, we could take the C1 over and get plus C2 minus C1, which is just a new constant. So what we actually do is we say, just have plus C on one side. Doesn't matter which side you put it on. But we're at that situation there. So we've got, tidying this one up, minus 1 over y. I'm going to take the 4 over to the other side. Is 2 lots of 4x plus 5 to the half plus c. Now, I didn't need to put the constants in. What I could have done was use this information and try and put limits on my integral, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to, at this stage now, say that's my general solution. I know that y is equal to a third when x is equal to minus a quarter. So if they're telling me that, I can just put that in. Minus 1 over a third is going to give me minus 3 is equal to 2 lots of Putting minus a quarter in there is going to give me minus 1 plus 5 to the half plus c. Sorry, minus 1 plus 5 to the half. That's 4 to the half. 4 to the, anyway, do it all on the calculator if you need to. C works out to be equal to minus 7. So finally, minus 1, not quite finally, minus 1 over y is equal to 2 lots of 4x plus 5 to the half minus 7. And I think in the question, yeah, they wanted it in the form y equals. So if they want it in the form y equals, I can say, first of all, 1 over y would be, so just getting rid of the minus, 7 minus 2, 4x plus 5 to the half. Okay, that minus has come out, which means that those two are swapped round. And then if that's 1 over y is equal to 1 over that. So 1 over 7 minus 2 lots of 4x plus 5 to the half. I wouldn't try and tidy that up in any sort of way. They've just said get it in the form y equals fx, and I've got it in the form y equals fx there. So hopefully all of that question makes sense.